Hey folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our 2020 Mazda CX-9. In this video, guys, I'm going to show you how to change the oil in this 2020 CX-9. Now, this is the first time I will have ever had to change the oil in this car because we bought this car new. Car has 5,600, almost 5,700 miles on it. Well, now, I don't know what kind of oil filter this car takes, so I've got to look that up at the parts store or Walmart. But I do know that this car takes 5W30 oil. Now, if you don't know what kind of oil your car takes, what you can do is go to your owner's manual. And in the owner's manual, go to the maintenance section. It'll tell you what the interval of oil changes is for your particular car. And in my case, it is 7,500 miles. And then also, the maintenance book, or the owner's manual, will tell you what type of oil you need to run for your particular region and driving conditions. And if you don't have your owner's manual handy, you can always look on the internet, or you can pop the hood on your car and look on the oil cap. It should tell you what type or what weight oil that you need. As far as the tools go, I'm going to be using this body panel removal tool. This is just a pretty simple tool that'll help me remove those clips that hold that access panel in place. I've got my 3/8" drive socket wrench with a 17mm socket and 3" extension. I've got a flathead, I've got a Phillips head screwdriver, an oil wrench, oil filter wrench, and a pair of safety glasses. Alright guys, so we are underneath the car now, supported by these two Rhino ramps. So far, so good. Now, to get started with the oil change, once you're underneath the car, you want to find this access panel that is on the passenger side towards the rear of the engine. Now, there are two things you're going to need to take this access panel off. One is a kind of a small Phillips head screwdriver, and then you're also going to need some sort of tool to remove these plastic body clips, these molding, trim clips, whatever. What I'm going to use is this trim removal tool. Now, you can use a flathead screwdriver, you could use your pocket knife, you could destroy them for all I care, but you're going to have to replace them. So whatever you're going to do, you do it carefully. And I've already removed one of these little trim clips with this trim tool, and I've found so far that it works pretty well. So let me get this trim panel off, or this access panel off, and then we'll get the oil changed. So again, it's just 3 of these little trim clips, and then 2 of these small Phillips head screws right there. Hopefully you can see that. And once you get those 3 or 5 things out, then this trim panel just comes right off. Now be careful, because there's going to be some dirt and debris in there, and don't forget your safety glasses. Now that we've got that off, and I hope you guys can see under here, I apologize if the lighting is not the best, but this should be pretty self-explanatory. So you've got your oil filter right here, and then you've got your drain plug right in front of it. And the drain plug, I believe, is 17mm. So we'll go ahead and get this drain pan, or oil pan bolt taken out. Oh, put that on pretty tight at the factory. Now, what I'm going to do, in the interest of science, is I'm going to collect a little sample in this clean Clausen pickle jar. And I'm interested to see what this oil looks like, the very first oil change on this motor. And I may send off a sample for an engine oil analysis, just to see what it looks like, on a microscopic level. So let's go ahead and get this draining. And of course, probably going to make a little bit of a mess, but it's all good. That's what working on your car is all about, right? Alright, so I'm going to let a little bit of that drain out, and then I'm going to sneak in here and grab a sample. And there we go. Alright, so we'll let that drain, come back, and then we'll take off the oil filter. All right, while that oil is draining, let's just take a quick look at this sample of oil that we pulled from the motor. Now again, this is about 5,800 miles on it. I presume it's Mobil 1 full synthetic that they put in at the factory. 5W30, a little bit warm, but let's just take a look at it here on the paper towel. And I am sure the video is probably not going to do it justice, but there is the old oil. Okay, and for comparison, here is the new Valvoline full synthetic advanced, whatever that means, more wear protection, 40% more wear protection, 5W30 that I'm going to be using. I'm going to put back in this car. And so the difference is right there. So what does that look like to you? Let me know down in the comments section below. 5,800 mile oil and brand new oil. Not too bad in my opinion, but I'm going to send that off. I started thinking about it a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and send that old oil off and get an engine oil analysis ran on that oil just to see how everything is you know, wearing down in the engine at 5,800 miles. Alright, now that the oil's drained and I've got the oil plug put back in the oil pan, I'm going to remove the oil filter with this little tool. It's the oil filter wrench that I picked up. I don't know what the part is, but actually it's a KD Tools 3288 it looks like. If you guys need one of these, I'll have a link down in the description below. But I'm just going to take this oil filter off really quickly, and these things should not be on all that tight. So this of course is the genuine Mazda oil filter, but we're going to be replacing it with a Mobil 1 M1 108A filter. So be sure to loosen this thing slowly because there is oil still in the filter and you don't want it to spill, fall out, and splash all over you. That would not be a good day. So there's the filter. It's kind of small, but see, there's, I don't know, maybe 1/3 of a quart of oil in there. So drop that right in the pan. I'm going to let that oil filter housing drain a little bit, and then we'll wipe it down and put the new one on. Alright, so let's talk oil filters real quick. Now this is the oil filter that the book recommends, and by that I mean the book that's in Walmart. And this was actually the only oil filter that that book recommended. They didn't have any other makes of, or manufacturers of oil filters that were recommended. But what I'm going to be using obviously is this Mobil 1 M1 108A oil filter. Extended performance. It says it protects for up to 1 year or 20,000 miles. Obviously we're not going to let the oil go that long, and I typically change oil filters every oil change, so I'm not even going to test the 20,000 mile claim on this one. Now for the most controversial part of an oil change, do you guys fill or not fill the oil filter before you put it on the car? Let me know down in the comments below. Alright, so now that everything is completely drained, I went ahead and wiped off the mounting surface where your oil filter spins on, and I'm going to want to take your filled or not filled, whichever way you do it, brand new oil filter, go ahead and screw it on. Now what I've always done, and there should be instructions on the side of the oil filter, but what I always do is I spin it until it touches, and then I give it about a 3/4 turn. Now you're all set. All we got to do is just put this little access panel back on, and everything will be good to go on the bottom end. Alright guys, I just got this access panel back on, and I noticed that I told you something wrong early on. There are only 4 things you need to take off. These 2 Phillips head screws, and then these 2, I guess they're the outermost body panel clips. This center one that I took off does not need to come off. It's actually for this bigger body panel that covers a larger portion underneath the car. So just 2 body panel clips, and then these 2 Phillips head screws to remove this access panel. All right, let's talk capacities real quick before we fill this car back up. So if you go to your owner's manual on page 9.4, again, this is for a 2020 CX-9. I imagine the owner's manuals for 2020, 21, 19 are probably the same. But we're going to want to look for capacities. And if you don't find it on this page, just go back to the index and find out where that is for your owner's manual. With this car, with an oil filter replacement, which is what we're doing today, you're going to need 5.1 quarts, or 4.8 liters. And what I have is, gosh, almost enough. I don't know why Mazda did that, but I've got 4.73 liters, or 5 US quarts. So almost exactly what we need. We're just 1/10 of a quart low. I've got some extra oil in the garage that I will use just to get that extra 1/10 of a quart in the car. Now once you fill the car up with the oil, all you got to do is just check your dipstick, make sure the levels are good, which they are. Put everything back together, make sure all your tools are picked up off the ground, make sure there's no leaks, and you are good to go. So guys, that's going to do it for this video on how to change your oil in a 2020 Mazda CX-9. I hope it's been helpful to you. If it has, be sure to leave me a thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hey!
You want to take that or?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Nice day to be out working on the car.
Oh, I know it. I'd rather be driving it, but hey.
Well, you get
That's all right. Have a good one. So, in an unexpected sequence in the video, we got Jersey Mike's delivered. How about that? So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hope y'all have a great day, great weekend. Get out and enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you on the next video.